With many producers in the game recently getting into creating samples using synths like the CS80, Prophet 5, Moog Synths, Juno 60, and many more, which are very expensive, many producers have been leaning into using sound banks and libraries that emulate the sound to try replicating the sound that they hear on these synthesizers. With that being said, these libraries be expensive too. And as a producer on the come up, saving every buck on these libraries is very essential since the money could be used on other things to invest on. In this video, I'll create a sample using free KONTAKT libraries, and all these libraries used will be shared in the description below. As usual, I started working with the keys to get some form of inspiration for the sample. The Kawai Baby Grand piano has always been my go-to if I don't feel like using Spitfire Labs or Keyscape. The tone it has is amazing, and the pedal release was captured so well, making it feel like you're in a room where this was being played. If you've watched previous videos of my breakdown, you already know how I process my piano. Some EQ, compression, shapes for additional width, retro tape, and kickstart to give the piano a pulsating feeling. Underneath the keys, I prefer some paired synth to create a certain ambience within a sample. So I used an MKS 7M library accompanied by the solo brass Untamed from Westwood. Both these sounds have different characters, so I had to treat them differently, with the MKS running through an EQ and retro tape, and the solo brass going through Studio D chorus, Illusion by Cymatics, and RC20. You can create textures with any synth really. However, the Casio slow tape and HF textures made the process even way more efficient for me because they sound amazing right out of the gate. I still enjoy making something different from what I get from these libraries, so I ran the Casio through a Lexicon reverb, Studio D chorus, filter to count out any unwanted frequencies caused by the reverb, Valhalla space modulator, and H910 by Eventide. The Rhodes keyboard was there to alternate with the piano to create a different vibe whenever I chose to remove the piano. The mix chain only has an SSL saturator to bring it up and create some distortion, and the RC20 just to make it very warm. Initially, I thought I should just record myself beatboxing or record some objects just near me, but this would mean that you'd miss out on amazing percussion libraries. Hunter's Percussion has to be my go-to when it comes to making compositions. It has so many articulations and phrases, which makes it amazing to use for me. Additionally, I used a CR78 library to get some electronic percussions. For these, I used a valve compressor, Neve 1073, Abbey Road saturator, and Smack Attack from Waves. This was one of those samples I was being experimental with. I tried using strings to accompany the sample, and the flute violin library set in so well that I didn't even want to remove it afterward. The processing includes the Manley Massive Plate, Oxide Tape Recorder, Vintage Verb, and the Abbey Road saturator. bass has to be the only instrument I could say I've cheated on. I can't think of a great bass library which is free that is not synths and gives you that warmth of an electric bass guitar. The mix channel has a parametric EQ, compression, an API 550B EQ, MPEX ATR, and Studio D chorus. So as you can see, you can create something that sounds amazing with free libraries. Now I know the effects that I used were paid plugins. However, there are free alternatives to the things I used, and some of you guys might even know some of these tools that I've used which are available on the net. So if you know any alternatives to the plugins I used in this video, please share with the Producer Homies community in the comments down below. We'll also cover a video in the future which only has free plugins to up your production game. If you've watched the video up to this point, shout out to you. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe, do the most in the comment section, and tap in with us on Discord and Instagram.